What do squirrels doing trapeze, octopuses in sweaters, and 100 cats in 100 minutes all have in common? Give up? Well, I'll tell you. They all came out of last month's Art Hang Party's drawing challenges. And I will share those things and more in a review of the second half of October if you'd like to join me. And I certainly hope that you do. I am Brian, also known as Baru, and it's very nice to see you. On this channel, we explore art with a heavy dose of creativity and a dash of silliness. Sometimes a bit more than a dash, I will admit. But let's get into it because I'm also kind of excited to see what I end up doing. Do you think that I always pre-plan this stuff? I don't. Speaking of not planning, this is exactly what's going on here for one of the Art Hang Party live sessions. And this one's theme was Build a Farm. And the idea is that our fearless host, Melissa, will display a farm-related reference photo, maybe a basket of vegetables, and then you draw it quickly, like just a couple minutes. And then another reference photo will be displayed, a sheep or a goat or something, and then you need to add that to your first drawing, and then you start to build a composition. But there's not much planning you can do because, who knows what's going to be next. It's super fun, not least because the whole group is very encouraging, and, if you want to try something fun and new, do check it out. There are plenty of replays, and live sessions are on Thursday evening, at least they are in the United States, but those replays are available anytime, including this one, the Build a Farm one, so do check it out. It's lots of fun, or your money back. It's completely free, I'm just joking. Come check it out. But anyway, I did enjoy putting these together. I'm not sure the compositions are, they're obviously not museum worthy, but it was fun to put them together. And just being quick and not being so precious about the compositions is a little bit freeing. And there's a little bit of charm and character to it. October 18th had the prompt of leaves. And I'm not always going to do the obvious thing. So I combined the bag of leaves, as you can see, but also the rabbit, who is leaving. He appears to be leaving. He's walking off with his leafy treasures. He's probably going to, put them into a pile and jump into it. I get the feeling he's that kind of rabbit. Just out for a good time. The next prompt was retrofuturism. I used to collect some old 50s and 60s movie posters, usually bad sci-fi films, and those are the kinds of things that I had in my head when I saw that prompt. This particular drawing I did was a bit of a compromise between that 50s sci-fi thing and the critters hanging out in nature thing that I've been doing this year. And so we have these buddies, a squirrel and frog, having a good time together, complete with space helmets and an Ehrenmeyer flask with, inexplicably, an acorn in it. Seems kind of senseless to me, but you know what? I'm not a futuristic squirrel, am I? Collage. Now this one concerned me because I really have not spent much time doing collage, and I don't collect collage materials. I actually had to buy magazines to cut up, which is like so not the way to do this. I find a picture of a bird and then the scarecrow, and I decided to put them together. That was my thought process. Which of the two is saying I'm not scared? Well, that is up for interpretation. And just a simple idea for the prompt teacups here. Some Earl Grey shared between friends and a bird, which I assume is the white-beaked teabag dipper. I think that might be the name. Very rare species indeed. In fact, I think this may be the only one. Pointillism. Now, this is a technique I really do enjoy, but it is also quite time-consuming depending on the size. So I kept this one pretty small and I ignored the background. Still, I think it worked out all right. This is a portrait of Rick Ocasek of the Cars. And if you like the style or you're interested in this type of style, I did a couple videos on circulism, which is essentially the same thing, just drawing circles instead of dots. It's not a hard technique, but it does take time. And here's an example of circulism, a bit of a self-portrait on this one. But, as you get in close, you can see all the little circles. But when, you draw back and you see it from a distance, everything kind of blends together and gives you that soft feel. Next up, art supplies. I like this one all right, I guess. I kind of wish that I wouldn't have gone quite so bright with the colors. Although, this does work, I suppose. What would a snail paint, do you think? Probably not cats. Certainly not 100 cats in 100 minutes. Only crazy Art Hang Party people will do 100 cats in 100 minutes. This is a live session, and you probably guessed it already. But the object was to draw 100 cats in 100 minutes. And although I'm not sure that I did many great 1-minute cat drawings, I did end up getting into a comfortable groove, focusing in on the major facial features and seeing what else I could add before time was up. I started out trying to do too much, and I was using color and such, and it was just too much for 60 seconds. So I ended up just using fine liners and leaving it in black and white, and I kind of liked that overall look, on a page. This was so much fun. A crazy couple of hours. Get yourself over to Melissa's channel and follow along with the replay. And your cats will thank you. Actually, the honest truth is, the cats probably won't care one way or another. But you know what I mean. You should do it. It's a lot of fun. Perhaps appropriately, after 100 cats, we have birds. Well, this was an extension of a drawing that I did earlier with my Wordle drawings. I haven't put that up in a video yet, but still what we have here are Texas grackles, which are, they're a bit like crows, and they are just so bold, very bold and clever. We kind of love them and we love to hate them around here. A group of them is called a plague, believe it or not, which is fitting. They will absolutely steal your chips if they can get away with it. So, chips and guac seems like the perfect grackle snack. Grackle snackle. Oh, see, now, I do not plan this stuff, and now I'm thinking we need something called Grackle Snackles. The perfect companion for your Mexican martini. All right, I'm going to go do it. Hold on.
Feeling a bit peckish? After a long day on the wire, you need a snack to get your mojo back. You need Grackle Snackles, the only snack chip approved by over 10,000 grackles, and counting. That's a major plague of grackles, my friends. So tackle a bowl of Grackle Snackles and you'll be squawking with joy or your money back'll. But don't take my word for it. Ask any Grackle. Grackle Snackles, now in French fry flavor.
If you feel like grabbing yourself a snack, I really don't blame you. Oh, this one. Yeah, this is so cute. Highland cows and sheep. Although, here, as you can see on the official prompt list, it's Highland coos. And I'm here for it. Oh. So I had this image in my head of these lovely bushy Highland cows or coos. And have you ever heard of these legends of goats climbing onto the backs of cows? It is an absolutely true thing. I just listened to a podcast on it. And I've drawn this thing a couple times in the past. I just love the idea. And I was also thinking about, goat yoga. I don't know if you've heard about that, but people will do yoga with goats, and the goats, of course, looking for higher ground, they sometimes just climb on the backs of people doing their yoga stuff. There's just something pretty wild about that. On this one, I think that I was channeling my Inktober style, and I kind of like it. The theme was old churches, and I imagine that this is like, some sort of cowboy church out in the middle of a range somewhere. I like it. Simple and kind of charming. The next prompt was critters with patterns, and I decided to go in a little bit different direction, as you can see. Instead of stripes and spots, why not Argyle? Why not, I say? So another product along with the Grackle Snackles, we can also use some of these octopus sweaters or jumpers or pullovers, or I suppose it just depends on where you are residing. I think I paid good money for an Argyle octopus sweater, wouldn't you? And you know what else I paid good money for? To see a squirrel circus. I certainly would. Take my money, sir. I could watch trapeze squirrels for hours and hours. Squirrels are amazing. They rarely seem to miss their jumps and their crazy antics. So actually we have acrobats in my very own yard. So anyway, that was the idea behind this one for circus. And the next one was one of my favorites from the entire month, one of the 93 drawings that I did. And the theme was makeup. And at first, I really had no idea what I was going to do with it because I honestly, I'm not really into makeup much myself. But I had a flash of something in my mind of a Harlequin-like character. And I'm not really into clowns in general, but I do like the feel of this drawing. I think partially because it's still pretty simple and the color is limited and not garish, which I guess is sort of not Harlequin, which is kind of weird. I like this idea enough that I did another one that was sort of like it, and I may do more. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it'll turn into a little series. The last prompt of the month was for oversized cats and rats, a live session, which was a silly way to spend Halloween. I wasn't able to attend the whole session, but here are a few of the drawings that I did. Has anyone ever seen The Princess Bride? Because I kept thinking about ROUS's, rodents of unusual size. Yeah, these were super silly, photoshopped reference photos, and a great way to put a smile on the face. Well, the month of October was a busy one for me, and I'm wondering, did you do any drawing challenges last month? And how did they go for you? Did you have any particular favorites? I'd love to see what you've done. Let me know in the comments, and if you have social media, let me know where I can find you. Next week, I will have the last tranche of October drawings, including the return of the Grumpy Snail. I'm sure you won't want to miss his formidable response to his cat overlord.
That charlatan fuzzball, let me tell you what, it's a darn tootin' good thing they have 9 lives.
Okay. Well, all that and more next week, and I hope to see you there. And until then, as the Grackles say,